A dance equipment studio buys dance suits at a wholesale price of $20 each. It then marks up the price by 52% and sells the dance suits. What is the amount of the markup and what is the selling price? So if they're just asking for the markup, you got to find the percentage of the start. So you do 52 times 20 divided by 100, you get $10.40. So that means you could have eliminated questions or answers A and B right away. Then you got to figure out how much it would cost total. I would just add them together and you get $30.40. The correct answer was D. Next one, ABC Shoes and Low Price Shoes sells Quick Runner shoes. ABC sells the shoes for $60.05 and Low Price Shoe sells them for $38.85. Today, ABC decides to offer 70% or 30% discount. Which store offers the better deal? You have to do 100 minus 30 is 70 because you're taking a 70, you're only keeping 70% of the total cost. Crisscross divide, you end up with $42.03 or $42.035. So low price is definitely going to be the better deal because they're originally they sell them for $38.85. Hector was shopping for a computer at the RST store. A computer originally priced at $955 had a price reduction of 40%. What is the reduced price? You're only keeping 60% because 100 minus 40% is 60%. Crisscross divide, you get $573. Mr. Rodriguez sells holiday greeting cards in a gift shop. Before the holidays, he sells the cards at 200% markup on the price he paid to his supplier. After the holidays, he discounts the cards 55%. What is the post-holiday price of two cards he originally bought from his supplier for $1.25 and $2.50 respectively? So you've got to find what it's going to be with the markup. Now I've got 300% because it's 100% plus a 200% markup is 300% total. You crisscross divide $1.25, and you end up with $3.75 for the cost of that card. Now this card, which it appears that I completely messed it up, so hold on a second. There it is. It's going to be $2.50. We crisscross cancel, and you're going to end up with $7.50 for the cost of that card. Now, he discounts after the holidays, he discounts the cards by 55%. That means he's keeping 45% of it. So we do 45% of $3.75, you end up with $1.69, and 45% of $7.50, you end up with $3.38. Li Ming owns a ice cream shop on Saturday evening from 6 to 7. 80 people enter her shop. On Tuesday from 3 to 4, 17 people enter her shop. What is the percentage decrease customers from the given hour on Saturday to the given hour on Tuesday? If necessary, round your answer to the nearest hundredth of a percent. You first need to figure out the difference. So it's 80 minus 17, you get 63. 63 over your original is 80, so we set it up as 63 over 80 equals percent over 100. Crisscross divide, you end up with 78.75. Next question. 4 candidates participated in a school election. Bianca received 1/10 of the votes. Chelsea received 0.14 or 1400ths of the votes, and Daryl received 57% of the votes. If Francesca received the rest of the votes, what percent of the votes did Francesca receive? So we know that 1/10 is actually 10%. Then I moved my decimal 2 places and I got 14%. Then I subtracted all of them out from 100. So 100 minus 10% for Bianca, minus 14% for Chelsea, minus 57% for Daryl, gives me 19% left over. Publisher estimated that 2 out of every 50 books published are national bestsellers. What percent of the books do not become national bestsellers? So 2 out of every 50 would mean 48 out of 50 do not. So I did 50 minus 2 is 48. Made that into a percentage. 96 over 100 equals 96%. A new jacket costs $71. Mimi waits until it is 25% off to buy. Find the amount that Mimi pays for the new jacket. We know that she wants to pay 25% off of the original cost. So we do 100%, which is going to be all of the cost, minus 25% means 75% is what she's looking for. 75 times 71 divided by 100 is $53.25. Erica's family is moving away to California. They decide to have a moving sale and sell each item 70% off the price they originally paid for it. The sofa had an original price of $799 and the love seat had an original price of $549. What is the total cost of both items after the discount? Well, we know that if you total them, $799 plus $549 is $1,348. Then we know that we need 30% of it because 70% off. So 100 minus 70 is 30% left over. Crisscross divide, $404.40 would be your total. Car rental company increases its daily rental fees 15% in the summer to cover the increased fuel costs. They then have 20% off promotional for the fall. If a car is rented $36 per day for the summer, what would the per day rental cost be during the fall promotion? So we have 100 plus 15 to get 115%. 115 times 36 divided by 100 is $41.40 per day. Then we're doing 25% off of that. So 100 minus 25 gives you 75%. 75% is what you are keeping. 75 times 41.4 divided by 100 is $31.05. A gas station sold 1,625 gallons of regular fuel and 650 gallons of diesel fuel last month. What percent of the fuel sold was diesel fuel to the nearest tenth of a percent? Okay, so we have the part overhaul. We have 1,625 gallons plus 650 gives us 2,275 total. Then you put the amount of diesel fuel over that. So you get 650 over 2,275. Make that into a percentage. You get 28.6% if you round it correctly. Next question. The floor of a house is 80% covered by carpeting. Express the percent of the floor covered by carpeting as a decimal. 80% as a decimal, you move the decimal 2 places to the right because it's P to D. Or excuse me, it's D to P, so we go to the right. And then this one is 80 over 100, and then you reduce down to 4/5. Express 40% as a fraction in simplest form. Explain how you got your answer. 40% is going to be 40 out of 100. I divided both the numerator and the denominator by 20 and got 2/5. Mr. Barnes is making macaroni and cheese for a large crowd. He uses 40 cups of cheese. He uses 36 cups of cheddar. The rest is Monterey Jack. What percentage of the cheese is cheddar? What percent of the cheese is Monterey Jack? So we start at 36 out of 40, and I reduced it down to 9/10 because that makes it easier. 9/10 is 90%. Then we know that we have 4 cups left over for the Monterey Jack. I reduced that down to 1/10, and 10% would be the Monterey Jack. A flower store sells carnations for $18.50 per dozen. The sales tax is 6%. How much is the sales tax on the dozen carnations? Show your work. Okay, so now we're just doing 6% of $18.50 because they're just looking for the tax. You end up with $1.11 for the amount of the tax. But then the second part says, what will be the total cost? Now you could add that 111 onto your 1850 and get 1961, or you can do 106% of 1850 is 1961. A house is valued at $118,000. The homeowner decides to add a 2-car garage to increase the value of the home by 15%. How much will the house be worth? Well, we're doing 100% plus an additional 15% is 115%. So you're doing 115% of 118,000. Crisscross divide, you get 135,700. Number 7, I started. It says it's important. This one might be on your test. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, bang over the head with a hammer. A public swimming pool holds 110,000 gallons of water. During the winter, the amount of the water in the swimming pool is reduced by 42%. How much water is in the swimming pool during the winter? Show your work. So we do 100 minus 42 is 58%. So 58% of it is still there. Crisscross divide, you get 63,800 gallons are left. Again, you take that 42 out because it is being reduced. Number 8, the original price of a CD in 2002 was $10. In 2008, the price of the CD was $14. In 2010, the price of the price was $1 more than the price in 2008. You do 14 minus 10 is 4, so the difference is 4 over 10, which is actually 41/100ths, and that's a 40% change. Then we go from $15 minus 10, because we're trying to find the difference over the original, and that's 5 over 10. And that, I have to check. I do not believe that is correct. Okay, so I found my mistake. The difference between 2008 and 2010 is only $1, and the original price was 10. No, that's not right. It should be over 14. Hold on a second. Okay, and you're going to end up, if you did that correctly, you're going to end up with 7%. Sorry about that. Next question, number 9. Last year, Mora was 48 inches tall. Roshini was 7/12 of Mora's height. This year, Roshini grew by 25%. Find the increase in Roshini's height. Okay, so we have 48 over 1 equals, or times 7/12. That's going to give you how much that person grew. So 48 over 1 times 7/12 is 28 inches. All right, or how tall that person is. Now you set it up to find 25% of 28. Crisscross divide, you end up with 7 inches. So Roshni, or Roshini, or whatever you want to call her, grew 7 inches. Okay, Just Right sells the book 10 Simple Ways to Better Math Scores for $20. Just Right sells its preferred customers a 2% discount on any purchase. Bookend sells the same book for $21 but offers a 6% discount. What is the price of the book at Just Right if you are a preferred customer? So we do 100 minus 2 is 98%. So we're finding 98% of 20, you get 1960. But we go to part B and it says which store after the discounts are applied is offered the better price of the book. You do 100 minus 6 is 94. So you find 94% of 21. You end up with $17.74. So Just Right is the cheaper bookstore. The table shows the number of CDs owned by each of 3 friends. What percent of the CDs are owned by Roscoe? Explain. So part over whole. Roscoe has 68 out of 200 total. You had to add these up. So 68 out of 200 is 34%. Then it says that if Julia and Manuel both got 4 new CDs, what would Roscoe's percentage be to the nearest 1/10 of a percent? So we add 4 more to the total. So it's 68 out of 208. That's 4 more for each person. So each person has an 8 total. We have 68 over 208 equals percentage over 100. Crisscross divide, you get 32.69%, which then when rounded becomes 32.7%. Hopefully this helps. Your test and quiz are coming up, so hope this helps. Have a good one. Bye.